me start sharing again, guys. I'm going to start from the top, no problem. And as I already said, since you came from my LinkedIn or my Instagram or I don't know, maybe my email, you probably know a lot about me. So I don't want to talk about me. I'm just going to say the things that you already know. I'm an English teacher. Uh, I am a teacher trainer, a mom, and I do a lot of other things in between as well. So let's give it a go. Let's start. We all love infographics. We all know what they are, right? But it's not always easy to see their use in the classroom. To give it a go, I'm going to show you, first of all, 4 examples that I successfully use in my class. And I'm going to then show you how to make one. In the end, I'm going to share some practical ideas on how can you use it in the classroom. I really hope it's going to work now. Okay, this first one is one of my favorites, and I love this one. And this is one of my, as I said, my favorite infographics. Why? Simply because it has this vertical form. We usually, when we think about infographics, they look like this. This is the most basic design, right? So when we think about infographics, we usually have the vertical one with a lot of information and similar things. But what's interesting is that when you use Genially, you can make other kinds of infographics. And often I have teachers, I'm going to share now, saying, well, that's not an infographic. And I'm saying, yes, it is. This is an educational infographic that's activity based. It's not based on just sharing information. It's based on creating a fun activity. Take a look at this one. This one is also vertical. It looks like a full page, but actually not. You can zoom it. And when you see it here, it's great because it has a lot of clickable things. I'll show you this activity later. Now, let me continue to share, and I'm going to show you an infographic that is not so common. So I've never seen a lot of people use it, but I definitely like using it. So another interesting kind of an infographic is where is it? Okie dokie, let's see it. It's this one, and I love this one. I use this one at a conference, and it is really great. It is literally a one-page. It is literally a one-page presentation, and I think it just helps people not to feel overwhelmed. You have only one page, and they look at it all the time as you present. I think it's amazing. So consider maybe doing horizontal ones as well. So what do you think? Can you write in the comments? Have you ever used or seen horizontal infographics or only vertical? So today I'm going to show you how to make a vertical one, but still, I just want to ask you, which one do you prefer? Which one seems more interesting? Okay, now let's go back to the first one. Okay, before I show you, before I start making an infographic, I want to show you these 2 activities. These are my favorite. Okay, let's give it a go and let's see. So in the Halloween one, what do we have? We can zoom it, of course. We start from the top. Now, what is very important is when you use it in the classroom, try to use every piece of the infographic. These are not just pictures. Everything you see can be used for a discussion or a description, which I think is really interesting. Andrea says, I haven't tried them yet, but they look very interesting. Yes, they do. One-page presentations, I think they should be more popular. We should popularize one-page presentations. They're amazing for just like a visual aid, very simple. So how do we start this activity? The origin of the jack-o'-lanterns. You can see this GIF. So you can see a lot of things here. And when you have an infographic in Genially, when you go through it, everything is moving. So it's not static as a picture infographic, which I love. And the other thing that you can do is add music. I don't know if you can hear it, but I just played music directly from the infographic. I'm not sure if we have this option to share sound. So can you hear the sound that I just played? That's another amazing feature of Genial, you can play a sound in the background and you can set a certain atmosphere in the class. So can you hear the sound? It's a spooky Halloween song. Do let me know. While you let me know, I'm going to continue from the top. When we start, okay, first we have some clickable options. Now, when we are educators, of course, every part of the infographic is a task. Okay, the origins of the jack-o'-lantern are indeed spooky. Click on the info to learn more. When you click, there's a pop-up button, okay, and you have a GIF again. Of course, don't forget to put sources. You can copy the text from the internet, but you need to put a source. Please don't forget to put sources. Not putting sources is illegal. Please don't forget that. Now you have another task. Listen to a spooky jack-o'-lantern story. When you click on this play button, you will hear me talking. I'm going to share this in the comments. So you can click away, right? Here it is, done, sent. You can hear me share this story. This is very interesting because in Genial, you can record yourself and infographics, which is amazing. They're not static. They're very interactive. Now we have another activity, animal symbols of Halloween. We have a raven, bat, and a black cat. When you read the info, you have you have a very short text, and of course, again, you have a GIF inside. You can put it, but you don't have to. This is a great activity for description. So you can describe the pictures, do a reading activity, and basically just discuss, because this is this one is meant for discussion. Now we have something more complicated. We have the timeline of Halloween. Look at these little circles. Every time you click, you're going to learn something about Halloween. And to finish off, there's a teeny tiny Halloween task. Now look at this. We have, yes, of course, and copyright. When you click on it, here's the task. Explore the history of Halloween in your country. Make an account on genially.com. Get into groups and decide which groups are going to cover specific parts of Halloween traditions. So this means that the students are collaborating and they're literally going to make one infographic as a group. We use multiple 21st century skills. This is amazing. This is a really good idea. A great activity, yes, of course. And also, they're going to practice collaboration, critical thinking, and also writing. So if you're an English teacher, you covered so many aspects just by grouping them and giving them a task to make an infographic. Plus, you're also going to work on digital skills. I think that's amazing. You're killing so many flies just with one with one stone. That's amazing, really. Now, make your own infographics. You have a task. Make sure to record audio, add video, make a lot of clickable parts. We want a lot of things to be clickable. Why? Because it's an exploration. We want the students to click. We want the students to explore. Present it in front of the class. You're coming back to another class. Now you have a speaking activity. That's amazing. Vote for the best presentation. You're also teaching them voting, and you're teaching them how to decide what is good and what is bad. You can also give them a rubric to decide which one is it. They can just click on it. For example, my rubrics look like this. Does the infographic have an audio? Yes. Does the infographic have a video? No. Does the infographic have clear design? Yes. Are there too many things in the infographic? Does it look cluttered? Maybe yes. So then this presentation will not have a lot of votes, of course. And in the end, don't forget to have fun. So this is one of the activities that I made for Halloween. And I have to tell you that this is a template from Genially. So you have a lot of free, amazing templates. You also have a lot of things that I added, which are moving. So everything that's moving should be your keyword. Okay. Before you start, of course, maybe it would be a great idea to students what are infographics, because maybe they don't know. So now let's stop for a second before I present the next activity. I want to see, what do you think? Do you think that your students could collaborate and make an infographic together? Let's write in the chat box, because in the Yes, in the comments. Sorry, because I think this is a very, very, very good, very interesting activity. For those of you joining late, we started 15 minutes later because Facebook was not working very nicely. So I'm sorry. Please stay out 20 minutes longer because we started very late. So what do you think? Is it possible for your students to collaborate and make one infographic? Okay, please let me know. While you're writing, I'm going to go to another activity and show you the one that I did a few I don't know, weeks ago. Yes. So this one is completely different. This one is for young learners, but this one is again one of my favorite activities. Why? Because it's full of inquiry, full of investigation, full of so we have inquiry, investigation, looking for false information, media literacy, digital literacy. I mean, the list is endless. The list is really endless. Let me present this activity. I think you're going to love it. So it's called Christmas Around the World. When you look at it, it's really plain. Somebody would say this is silly, this is boring, but it has so many things, just this one little tree. Okay, so we have countries like Italy. Oh, let me see, I don't see very well. Guatemala, Russia, Israel, Sweden, Australia, USA, India. Very interesting countries. What is the task? The task is to click. First, you ask the students to vote and select the activity that they want. Of course, the country that they want to visit. Okay. When they select it, what do? When they select it, we give our mouse to a volunteer, or if you're teaching face to face, just let a volunteer go and click it. It doesn't matter. Then, when they click it, you can read it. Find a volunteer to read, or you can read it orally if you have very young students. So this is for young learners. This is made for young learners. So let's click on it. First, they have a task to read it. Let's see. Wow. Italy. So you have a story about Italy. You have a picture. Don't forget to describe the picture. Describing pictures is an amazing activity, and you should always do it. It never gets boring. So let's see. Italian children are very lucky because they receive presents twice during the Christmas period. On the 6th of January, they're visited by the Befana, a good magical old lady, which brings sweets and small presents and stuffs them in stockings. So, what is the task here? When they read it, of course, we discuss the words they don't know. We discuss if they have a similar persons in their holidays. I'm not going to say mythology because they're very young. And then they have an exploration task. Go to Google and see if this information is correct or not. What do they do to check if this is correct or not? They're using a lot of media literacy. Also, the first task is to help them create a good question. So we're also practicing grammar. What are you going to type in Google? You can't just type Italy Christmas. You need to find keywords. So now you're looking for keywords in this little text. Okay, so Befana, January, Italy. Can you make a sentence? You'll lead them to make a sentence. Then they type it. That's another amazing activity. And search. You give them 5, 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. You need to give them time. They come back and they report. Are there mistakes? What's incorrect? If they find a mistake, what's the correct information? I love this activity, and you give them a chance to explore because this is if there weren't any kind of activities, it would just be a 2D presentation. So you need to incorporate a lot of activities outside the visual presentation. So these are some of the ways that I use infographics. I'm going to share a few ways when we start making the presentation. Sorry, the infographic. But before we start, another question for you. Do you let your students explore Google? Do you let your students search? What do you do? While you do that, I'm going to send you this link again. This one is my Christmas infographic. Wait a second. And of course, use it whenever you want. It's yours. You're free to use it. all the time. So do you let your students search online? How do you feel about searching online and letting your students be explorers? So this way you're giving them a chance to correct you. And I know the students love correcting teachers. I think students can't wait to correct the teacher. So why not make a game out of it? While you think about it, I'm going to share my other screen, and we're officially going to start with the demonstration in technical terms. So I hope I brainstormed a little bit. I gave you a few ideas on how can you use it practically. I think that's very important, because if you don't know how to use it practically, then you're not going to be motivated to learn how to make it, right? Okay. So I hope everybody can hear me. So please write if you can hear me and see me properly, because now I'm going to show you how to make one easily. Not with so many details, but of course it's going to be close to what I made before. So can everybody hear me? I am not on the page at the moment, so I don't know what's happening there. Just please confirm everything is working, and we will start with the demonstration. Again, those of you who joined late, we started 15 minutes late because it wasn't working that well. Great, thank you, Alexandra. Okay, quick start. Let's go. As you can see here, when you click on Create Genially, you should go to Vertical Infographic. Now, what do we have here? We have some premium templates, which are paid, and you can't use them. So you can use only the free ones. So go ahead and click on the free ones. There are so many you can use, and honestly, they're amazing. They look really good. I'm going to use this blank one because this is a basic template. It's literally blank, and we're going to start from there. When you are a newbie, I suggest that you start from these infographics. Why? You need to get used to designing. So sometimes it's very good, and you should use a template before you learn how to design properly, before you level up your skills. It doesn't happen overnight, so don't worry. What's important is that you use it pedagogically. So look at this. This is the infographic, and I changed the text. I added my activities, and it became amazing. So your task is to adapt it and to learn how to use it in the classroom practically. Again, I'm going to use this blank one just because we don't have enough time to make it from scratch. That takes hours. Okay, hope you can see it. Now we are in the app. It can work a little bit. It can work a little bit slower. Let me just check if I can make the camera smaller. I don't want it to cover the whole screen. That's kind of a bummer. But I can't, sorry. Okay, I hope you can see well. I'm going to zoom it for you. So I'm going to zoom it. Let's start with the top. This is a general infographic template. So you usually have a picture. Take a look at the structure. There is one picture, and there is a text. You have a little button. Then you have some 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then you have a video. So what should you do? When you design, make sure that your infographic has a certain flow. So as you can see here, there is a picture and a text. There is 1, 2, 3, and then a video. You shouldn't pile up. So if you have a video, the next part shouldn't be a video. If you have a picture and a button, the next part shouldn't be a picture and a button, because you don't want it to look boring. Infographics shouldn't be boring, right? So let's start this one. Okay. So the topic of this short demonstration is using infographics, designing interactive infographics and using them in class. Interactive infographics and using them in class. Okay. And I'm going to just write a subtitle and using them in class. Okay, great. Let me level this up. Okay, so this is the title of our presentation. What are we going to do now? Let me show you what are the things that you can do in Genially. Okay, no questions, amazing. So let's start. First of all, I'm going to scroll down because I have a video and I want to use it immediately. So I'm just going to add the title here, change it. I'm going to write a practical, lesson recording an with an infographic activity. This is a lesson recording with an infographic activity, and I'm going to share this with you later. What do? When you have a video, click on it, and you have these three little dots. Okay? When you click on these three little dots, one panel up. So in this panel, you can paste and replace. Click on this blue button and replace your link. You also have some other settings, but we're not going to use them. We don't need them in an infographic. So what is this? Lesson recording with an infographic activity that I had with a class from India. In this lesson, I used the Christmas infographic. I know it is tiny. I really don't know if you can see it, but I hope you do. So we added a video. What are other ways to add a video? Go here. Okay, where is it? Sorry. We go to insert, and then we go to video, and then we go to others. Okay. Now, when we are in the video, we can upload it through Google Drive, or we can just share it here. Now, audio. Audio is an amazing, really an amazing feature. So I'm going to record an audio now in Genially, and I'm going to share. Let me see what I wrote down here. How does infographics help students? I'm starting to record. 1, 2, 3. Infographics help students to, number 1, think critically. Number 2, organize information in a logical way. Number 3, improve their research skills. And last but not least, it also saves time and resources in creating visual aids. So it also helps teachers. When you finish talking, just click on the button, and you can also rename your audio. Let me rename it. I'm just going to write it test. It doesn't matter really. Okay. Or it helps students to, okay, and then that's all. Pardon me. Now we're going to put it here. Where is the infographic? Okay. Can you see the audio here? What do we have? That's amazing. So we're going to put an audio here, and we're going to just move the button. We can move everything. I'm going to move everything up because I want to just add different things. And here I'm going to add an audio. Now when you click on it, the students can listen to your voice. And I think this is really cool because you can record it literally from your phone. Now, we're going to go back and we're going to add a button. Buttons are in the interactive elements. Why do we want to add a button? We want it to look better, right? We want it to look more clickable because this doesn't look very clickable. So let's go to a button with text and let's click on, where's the audio? Yes, listen. Look, this one is amazing. So when you put it here, and now it says listen, your students will know to click on the button and it becomes easier to catch, right? It becomes much easier to catch. And now let's go and let's write. Okay, I'm making this infographic for teachers and I'm actually going to use it in teacher training. So this is why I'm talking about using infographics, looking at infographic. This is what I like doing in general. So infographics help students. It's hard to multitask so much, so I'm not, okay, writing very quickly. Okay, here it is. Infographics help students do what? I'm just going to move this button here. Okay. Help students, okay, listen to the audio below and then click on the plus button to read the transcript. You can literally, and I have to stop saying literally such an ugly crutch word. I'm sorry, people. Please forgive me. I'm a tired parent. This has to happen. This has to happen. Again, I'm sorry. So let's just make it more visually appealing. We need to just remember that infographics are very visual. Everything needs to match visually. Everything needs to be aligned nicely. So what are we going to do now? Now I gave you a task. How do infographics help students? You're going to listen to the audio and then you're going to the transcript. Transcripts are amazing. Here are the things, buttons are amazing. Here are the things you can do with buttons. You have a tooltip. Tooltip is just going to appear and disappear. And window is just going to open a new window. So we're going to use a new window, okay? And we can make it small, medium, and large. And of course, don't forget, we can change the font here. We can make it a different color. We can change the size. So basically, you have like a little word processor right here inside of Genially. And also you can add links, pictures, videos, and you can even put tables and embed stuff. So you can embed everything. You can embed games inside. So let's go ahead and let's just go to my, I don't know, I'm going to go to my Quizlet. It doesn't have anything connected to infographics, but I'm just going to show you how can you incorporate it. This is what's amazing in Genially. In Genial, you can put any kind of other app that can be embedded, which is I believe really amazing. So you have this other option of interactivity. Let me show you. Okay, we're going to have about 10 minutes more and we are done. Again, I'm sorry for starting late. So I'm going to share this one, for example. You can't see it, but just wait a second. I am in my Quizlet now. And it's loading pretty slow because so many windows are open. So please be patient. Okay, I'm going to leave it to load then and go back. Okay, yeah, it's loading slowly now. So that's another thing. Don't forget that Genially is a very big tool. So if you're doing something, make sure not to to put so much pressure on your computer. Have a very good laptop and still it creates problems. So here is the code view. Okay. And in the code view, I'm going to put this one and go back. So I just copy paste the embedding code. Now this is loading. Yes, we have to give it time. It's loading the game there. And I'm going to put it in another place as well. So let me go to insert. And as I said, audio, video, others. Copy paste any code. So this was Quizlet and insert. And take a look at it. Now you have an interactive game literally in the middle of your infographic. That's crazy. Honestly, that's amazing. I'm going to save it so I can show you. But it opens in a new window. So let me share a new window so you can see how interactive it is. So everything you click, open. Everything you click is interactive. Where it is, Untitled Genially. Great. So take a look at what I made in such a short time. When you click here and it opens, you can play a game in the window that opened, not just put a text, audio, video. You can also add any kind of games that have a code inside. Now let's go back. Oh yes, you can see it. Pardon me. Showing stream. Okay, yes, here it is. So when you click on the button, as I said, you can even play games inside the Genially window. Wow, this is why I love it really, because whatever you click is interactive. That's just insane. Okay, I'm going to go back, and we're still showing you what can you add there. So now that we've added some text, interactive, let's go to an image. Click on replace. Why? Because when you click on replace, you're keeping the shape, you're keeping the effect, and then you can go to Pixabay. That's another amazing thing. In the resources, you have Pixabay and Unisplash and Giphy included. This means you don't have to search images online. So please be careful with copyright, everybody. Don't use pictures you cannot use. I know we are teachers, but we still need to be careful. So in Pixabay, I'm just going to type search. I don't know because this was the topic. Okay, here it is. I'm going to replace it, and I'm going to get a new image with the same effect. Now we're going to the title. Again, you can click on replace, and then just go and use any kind of icon that Genial already has, or you can put a new one. In the end, of course, you can always add a button. Okay. Or you can add a smart lock. This is what I don't use because I'm an English teacher, but yeah, you can use it anyway. You can add interactive graphs. So if you're teaching mathematics or any kind of other, now of course it's loading. If you're teaching these kind of subjects, you can add interactive graphs that are moving as well. Okay, and let's see what are other things that we can do, of course. When we go to resources, we have so many illustrations, scenes, we have maps, and of course, we have images included. That's really amazing. The last thing that I want to show you is the background. So you can use, or you can just change it. So let's just change my background. As you can see, the background is this. Oh, sorry, this is not. Okay. The background is this little part, but we have this bigger part in the back. That's a base. So now when we change it, it's going to become, so look at this. Now I changed it. So the base is the space around, and the background is just literally this box that you have here. Okay, so let me repeat. What did we do? We selected a template. We replaced the image. We added an interactive button, and this button has a game inside of it. When you click on it, it shows a game. You can use anything. We added an audio and gave a task. We also added a video, and in the previous Halloween activity, I showed you how you can make it even more interactive. Now, if you want your student to collaborate on a template, share them a template and just click on collaborators. You're going to have to click on this button here and then send them an email. That's all. They're going to get an invitation via email. And of course, yes, audio recording. Okay, so let's stop here for a while. I'm just going to stop sharing the editor and finish with the technical part. I just wanted to show you real quickly. I mean, there are a lot of things. Let's be honest. It can take hours to just show you everything. So let's stay here for a while and let me know, what do you think? Do you have any questions? I would like to answer. While you think, I'm going to share a few more activities you can use. For example, you can use them as a visual aid. You remember that little thing called multiple intelligence theory? So you can see which multiple intelligence your students possess. So that's really, really good to make them concentrated. Are there students who rely on audio, video, interactivity, collaboration? Do they rely on mathematical aspects? So you can make it to intrigue your students, make them engaged. The next one is debate. This is the one that I really like doing. I usually make an infographic. One side is a pro, one side is a con. So you kind of separate it in two, and then they can fight and discuss. You can do a lot of activities there. What else did I write down here? Yes, of course, have them create an infographic after your lesson. That's my favorite one. Gamify the classroom, just as I showed you. You can enter games inside, so your gamification can be digital, or it can be physical. So you can put any kind of game, just like they had to search online, or any kind of TPR game, total physical response. Remember that, maybe. I'm not sure if you're familiar with TPR because If you're not teaching children, then you're probably not. Basically, this means you give them a task, then you have to move and get up and do something. So it can be anything. Last week we did jump 2 steps ahead if you agree with this. Jump 2 steps back if you don't agree with this, or if this is true or not. So you can literally jump and check grammar and just put this in an infographic. So you have two ways to interact in the digital space or in the physical space. What else do we have? Yes, and yes. Another very important last thing is reporting skills. Our students have such poor reporting skills. Let's face it, please don't lie to yourselves. Students are terrible at reporting, at least my students. When you ask them to report, it's just not working. So collaborating in an infographic can teach them research and reporting skills. That's another interesting aspect. Okay, I'm going to go back to one of my infographics, and now I would like you to share any questions that you have. So what would you like to ask me, and what would you like to say? Let's stay here for a minute, and I'm going to open my favorite infographic where it is. Sorry, I have so many activities. Okay, I just opened this one. So what do you think? Would you like to add something? How do you use infographics in your classroom? So how do you use infographics in your classroom? Okay, now I can go ahead to the page because we finished and see what's happening there. Okay. Yes, I finally opened it. Amazing. Okay. If you don't want to ask or share anything, I just want to ask you one final question. Have you learned anything interesting today? And how will you use it in your classroom? So have you learned anything interesting today? I'm not saying new, but maybe you changed your perspective or just have a new idea. And another thing that I want to share, since you're not chatty, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to hide my infographic, and I'm just going to share a few things about the masterclass that I'm teaching. So if you learned something new today, and if you want to learn more about designing and design other things, not just infographic, you should definitely consider joining. And I'm going to share just in a few minutes, super quickly, what are some things that we're going to do in the Genial masterclass. So we're going to start by introducing you to Genially. I'm going to stay there for a long time because in the end, you need to practice by yourself. And we're going to learn about the following things. We're going to show you how to make presentations. That's our step number one. We're going to try to teach you to make a board game. Finally, we're going to see what do you want to finish off with. Do you want to make a virtual classroom, digital storytelling, or it's an escape room? These are super complex tasks, so we can't do them all. And we're going to basically do one that you select doing. Yes. So another thing that we're doing in the masterclass is collaboration. So after we finish the live workshops, you're going to have a chance to design your own design, submit it on the platform, and then you're going to get a feedback. So let's just see. What does the masterclass contain before we finish? So it's 6 days long. Okay, and we're going to have 6 live workshops. One on the 6th, one on the 13th, one on the 20th February, and they're going to be interactive. So it's not going to be like this because this is just a demonstration. We're going to discuss and talk and to show you and guide you step by step. I'm literally going to tell you where to click. Okay, and we're going to have 2 hours every Sunday on the 6th, 13th, and 20th February. After that, you're going to get a lifetime access. So you're going to be able to take a look at the recordings anytime, and you will have to develop your own design. Now, a lot of people ask, is it mandatory? And I'm saying no, but you should do it for your own development. There is no deadline. So if you want to finish it in 5 months, that's fine. Whenever you send it, I'm going to send a detailed video feedback. You're going to have discussion panels, and in the first masterclass, people love them. They just use them all the time. And peer feedback. It's crazy how much peer feedback the educators shared. That's just so beautiful to look at. Everybody commented on others' design and motivated them, and it was really, really good. And finally, of course, you're going to get just a tiny certificate to share in your profile. I'm going to send you the link where you can see more, because I'm going to stop sharing this one and go ahead to check. Oh yes, Tina already helped. And you said, it looks like an interesting tool. I will try to create one. I'm thinking about how can I use it in online teaching. Yes, so I already discussed how can you use it. I'm not sure if you were here in the beginning, so you can rewatch it, please, to get more ideas. And Tina already sent you the link. So if you want to join us, we have some places left. If you want to join us, that would be amazing. And of course, ask me questions. You can ask me on LinkedIn or on Facebook, but just make sure that if you apply, you have to practice a little bit first, because in the masterclass, we're going to focus a lot on digital pedagogy. So we're going to work on how you use your designs. I'm not just going to tell you where to click and where to paste, because that's not going to help you. So if you join, you're going to have a chance to learn a lot about practical online teaching, of course. So before I say goodbye, yes, I'd just like to write in the chat box and tell you bye, everybody. See you soon. Yes. And I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to wait to see some messages from you and say goodbye properly. And again, I'm sorry for starting late. Facebook really, really had problems streaming. I had to restart the stream many times. Okay. Great. So, as I said, see you, drop me a message, and good luck. Start designing, start practicing. It takes a lot of time to learn how to do some things, but when you learn it, your classes are going to become completely different. Okay. See you soon. Bye. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.